What's up YouTube? It's your boy Ishrak back with another deck profile. So today I'm showcasing Pendulum Zoodiac today. This is similar to my Pendulum Magician deck profile, except I went heavier on the Zoo engine, both in the main and the extra deck, and it's pretty reflective of it. I went undefeated with this deck profile at locals, so let me just tell you my matchups real quick. Round 1, I played Lightsworns, 2-0'd. Round 2, I played Blue Eyes, Chaos Mac Blue Eyes, and 2-0'd him. Round 3, I played Dark Magician, 2-0'd. Round 4, I played Trickstars, 2-1. Game 2, he activated Double Reincarnation with Droll and Lockbird after he resolved the first Trickstar Reincarnation, and I just scooped, but I did misplay there, so I'll just explain that as the deck profile goes on. And then the final round it was 5 rounds of Swiss, and the final round was Magnet Warriors, and I 2-0'd him. So yeah, deck was really consistent, deck was really fun. I didn't even play Desires in this deck, and I was really satisfied with it, because, yeah, usually I like Desires, but in this deck, I just couldn't find a room to fit it within 40 cards, but it still worked out. So let's just go into it. So for the non-new magicians, I played triple Astrograph Sorcerer, just a really good hand trap, and it just generates advantage, so why not? And then I played triple Skullcrabat Joker, just second best normal summon in the deck. I played triple Wisdom Eye. And then for the new magicians, very standard, just triple double Iris, triple purple poison, and she is ruled that you can get the 1200 attack boost during either player's battle phase, because the damage step does happen during either player's battle phase, so yeah, just be aware of that. Triple harmonizing, really good because of the link format, just a free XZs or a free rank 4 or a free synchro is just so good. She's probably one of my favorite cards in the deck. And then I only played double Black Fang, just because he's the worst of the magicians, but he's a scale 8, so yeah. And one Oath Dragon just to recur my shit. For hand traps, I went generic. I played double Ash Blossom and one Maxi, just because they were the best hand traps. I did not really want to play Ghost Soakers at locals. I felt like Ghost Soaker isn't that good in against more generic decks. It's good against the meta, just because of Diagram and Barrage, but other than that, it's not that great, so yeah. And for my Zoo engine, I played double Rapier. Originally, the Zoo engine, I changed it to double Rapier, but then I removed some other cards and I switched them up, and I added 3 more Zoo cards. So I played double Whiptail and 1 Thoroughblade. The reason for these 3 is just in case of, let's say I already went through the Rapiers and I draw into a Barrage, I want my Barrage to still be live, essentially. So yeah. And if I normal the Rapiers, the theory was I would send it off with Zoodiac combo in my deck so I could recur all my other XZ monsters when I do summon these. So yeah, they were very clutch. I thought about Ram as well, but the only thing that pops Ram is Barrage itself. So that's why I didn't really want to play Ram. And these were just really good. Like, Searching a Whiptail was always live. Thoroughblade, always live. Just generates me card advantage. It's just the best. I love these cards. So yeah. And then for my spells, that was 29 monsters. I played 8 spells, so triple Duelist Alliance, just super generic searcher, searches whatever you need. It usually fixes hands. It can kind of suck when you have to, but when I did draw into 2, I drew into my 1 Pendulum Call, so I just used the other copy to discard the Pendulum with the Pendulum Call. And Pendulum Call is really good. Just searching your scales is amazing, especially after searching Duelist Alliance. So yeah, just too good. And the last is the obligatory 1-star Pendulum Graph. This is mainly just advantage. Usually I would search this second after the trap just because I would rather interrupt my opponent's plays than generate advantage when they're breaking my boards, right? So yeah, this card's really good. Just solid, yeah. And then finally, the standard, because I'm playing so many zoo cards, triple barrage. Just, I'm not gonna explain it, it's just too good. Just like, there's just so much synergy with this. Okay, I am explaining a little bit. There's just so much synergy with this. You pop your double iris and search your star pendulum graph, or if you have the star pendulum graph on the field and you can just pop it and then search your time pendulum graph, it's just too good to ignore. And usually what I do is I either commit to my pendulum plays first or my Zoodiac plays first. Typically my pendulum plays first because I'd rather pendulum summon. Then I would summon. Then I'll use barrage to pop one of my scales. Get a plus off that scale by either searching off the star pendulum graph with double iris or popping an opponent's monsters using purple poison. So yeah, it was just really good. Other times I would like to do my zoo plays first just because it opens up more extra deck zones. So yeah. And finally, I played 2 time pendulum graph. I always sided out the second one. Just in case my opponent pops one, but usually if they pop one of these, I'm not too worried because they're not popping my scales, so I could just go into my monster plays. And I played 1 Zoodiac combo. This originally was a Solemn Warning, and while I think Solemn Warning is really good, to keep this under 40 cards, I liked combo, especially game 1, because like since I don't play Desires or any like draw cards, right? I just wanted a card that would shuffle my shit and let me draw one. So yeah, basically. Just too good. So that's the main deck. 40 cards. I played 4 traps, 3 traps, 3 traps, 8 spells, 29 monsters. So yeah. So I'm gonna go into the side deck first. Side deck I didn't really go too much into today. It just wasn't really too relevant today. So let me just say. So I played double 2 kaijus just for Chaos Max and Indestructible Crystal Wing. 2 Dankos, because I heard rumor that someone at my locals was playing Chain Burn, so I just threw these in. Plus, like, this card's always just good in Pendulum decks. Couldn't find my Ultras, so I had to play with my Secrets. And I wish I played 3 of it, but, like, I just couldn't fit room. And double Ghost Ogre, just hand traps. Just because if the matchup is meta. 1 Raigeki, just solid. Double Cosmic. I sided in against the Trickstar dude, and I did a misplay where I should have. He reincarnation me. I chained Cosmic, and I should have hit his back row instead of his field spell because his other back row was the other reincarnation too. Also, during that play, just to go into it real quick, he activated reincarnation against when I had an Ash Blossom in hand, the second one, and I should have Ash Blossomed that, chain Ash Blossom to it, so I would have kept my hand, and we may have actually had played game 2, and I may have actually won, but then, like, we just played game 3, and I just won him with more life points, which, go figure, I beat him by life points against a Trickstar deck, against the Burn deck, so, yeah. Double Deflector, too good. Double Floodgate, never saw it, but it's really good. And double D-Barrier. I never sided this in, so, yeah. Side deck was 15 cards. Check out the Yu-Gi-Oh token I won from Yu-Gi-Oh Day, so yeah. Anyway, extra deck, I played my Synchros, I played Omega. I really love this card, especially when you can read your opponents, right? Which I did pretty well. No one ever put their hand on the field for me to randomly choose a card. They always like looked at their hand and they always looked nervously at which card, and I always pulled the right card with it, so too good. Also, I kept on like taking away my opponent's Raigeki, which was great. So yeah. 1 Ignister. This was my removal to Crystal Wing and to Chaos Max. 1 Beazle. I made this once. Not Beazle, Beals? Yeah, I made this once. just against the Magna Warrior dude when I was just going for game. So yeah, I just was going for damage. Now my Exceed monsters. 1 Time Star, never made it. Evil Sword Nightmare, never made it. Tornado Dragon, made it all the time. It was my generic rank 4 that I made. Utopia package, made this once against Crystal Wing, got me over it. And then, so those are the generics. And then for my Zoo lineup, I played Heavy Zoo, and it truly carried me throughout the day. So yeah, 1 Hammer Kong, 1 Tiger Mortar, 1 Chicanine, 1 Broad Bull, double Tridents, and finally Mrs. Radiant. So this just gave me a lot of board advantage. Double Trident, just because if I drew into a Zoo card, I just want to overlay into a Trident and just pop something real quick, just for utility. And a lot of this stuff did get recycled. Usually I would use a Hammer Kong. Then if I had Rat, I would use Hammer Kong, Chicanine, Broad Bull, Trident, like these 4, and I would save the Tiger Mortar and the second Trident for later plays, right? And if I had like a generic Zoo monster, I would use Hammer Kong, Broad Bull, Trident, usually. And Chicanine maybe to go into Mrs. Radiant. So yeah, most of the plays were pretty intuitive. So yeah, that was the deck. I was very satisfied with it. I think this deck is super crazy in Link format. It's really good still. And even if they hit the Zoo engine, there are other stuff you can play into it, like the Fairy Tale Lunas, and there's also Apex Avian to have more interruptions during your opponent's play. So yeah, alright. That was my deck profile. If you liked it, please like this video and subscribe. And leave any comments. Bye.